Well, she was the suburban housewife become global superstar who was known for her cheeky humour and glamorous fashion. We're, of course, talking about Dame Edna Everett.
Of course we are, possums. And now some of the best Edna costumes of all time are on display as the late Barry Humphries is honoured at an exhibit in Melbourne. And the curator, Margot Anderson, joins us now from Melbourne. Good morning to you, Margot. How did this all come to life?
Good morning. Well, Barry was a really important patron of the Australian Performing Arts collection, and he'd worked with us over many years to develop this extraordinary collection that really represents his career. So we really wanted to draw on that to pay tribute to Barry, his legacy, and this amazing contribution he's made as an entertainer and performer.
So it features three of the Dame's best dresses. How do you choose what the top three are?
Yeah, that was tricky because there's close to about 100 of Edna's costumes in Barry's collection, and they're all amazing. They're all pretty crazy. And I guess what we did try to do was bring out three that we knew had a big impact with audiences and had been favourites with them. So they all had to have the elements that a good Edna costume has to have. So a bit of glamour, obviously, but also a sort of three-dimensional quality that makes them sort of larger than life and gives them that sort of wow factor. But ultimately they have to be funny, they make you laugh. They're great costumes.
This purple number we're looking at is almost four-dimensional, isn't it? Beyond the fashion, what else will be on display at the exhibit?
Well, there's quite a lot of other material, just sort of sampling the sort of many facets, if you like, of Barry's career. So there's a lot of programs, photographs, there's some posters, some correspondence, and also a smattering of some of Edna's spectacles, the fantastic, iconic glasses that Edna liked to wear. So it's a bit of a sample, if you like, a bit of a teaser of this extraordinary collection.
Was there anything that surprised you that you found in the collection?
Well, I guess because I've always been pretty familiar with the costumes, but I hadn't actually seen one of the telegrams that was in there from his mum from the early 80s, from a performance that he was giving at the Regent Theatre in Sydney. And I guess that really sort of threw me because it was quite sort of restrained and maybe a little bit minimal, but it was clearly sent with pride, and it was just lovely to know that he'd kept it all those years, and it was a big part of the collection.
And on a personal note, do you have any sort of favourite memories or anecdotes of your time with Barry over the years?
I'd say probably the surprise visits to the collection. He often quite liked to come unannounced and just have a wander through the collection, get reconnected with some of the items that he'd given us. I think sometimes, there were things that he'd given us decades before, and it was quite nice to sort of watch him reconnect with these things that meant something to him and that were, pivotal moments in his career. But yeah, it was also lovely to see him see the rest of the collection and see all the other amazing performers that we were also representing. He was a great supporter of collecting performing arts history and exhibiting it. So it was great to see him sort of take pride in the whole collection and sort of celebrate other performers as well.
Well, Margot, it's going to be one that's a wonderful tribute to the man and the legend. Thank you so much for being here, and the exhibit is on now until August 30 at the Arts Centre in Melbourne.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my goodness, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?